Why are you in college?
Um,
I mean,
So I dropped out of college. Yeah. And no, I didn't drop out for the sake of YouTube. I'm not stupid. Fuck college though.
West side, we gon' set this party alright.
Alright, so this topic has been beaten like a dead horse. If you spend any amount of time on YouTube, you can find 11 out of 10 YouTubers making the same videos about the same shit. Anyways, here's what I gotta say. Everyone around my age at this point has run into the debate on whether higher education is worth it or not. If you're in America, that is. You're set if you're like from fucking Sweden. I mean, we deadass got people out here joining the military, getting depression for college. The majority of my friends are in uni, and luckily I've surrounded myself with pretty smart people who have a direction they want to take their lives in.
Okay. Oh, you can see it. One.
ASMR. Hello. This is Jason's look on.
But I know the majority of people my age don't really know what they're doing and go the college route because it's the next step, bro. Of course I'm going to college, duh. But before I tell y'all why I actually dropped out, I'm gonna go to college one last time. So I decided to go to the University of Oregon. So if y'all don't know, I live in Portland and I drove down here to visit one of my friends. I actually broke into his apartment and I decided to talk to him and a couple more people about their experience with college. So I'm here with Christopher Martinez, aka my cousin, because we share the same last name and we're both brown. So
Why are you in college?
when I was coming out of high school, I was kind of skeptical about whether or not college was like something I needed to do.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know, I was like, well, what's the point? Like, it doesn't really seem like it's going to help me get a job that much. But I decided to go to college because I didn't really know what else to do. And it also kind of made sense because of where I was going with music. And I wanted to continue learning and continue getting better and progressing in some way in that avenue. And so most people my age went to college, so I was like, all right, well, I'll go to college then.
What's your motivation to go to college or to go to school?
because one, I'd say I'm good at school.
Like academics?
Like academics. I'm good at academics. I have no reason to think that's too hard. I know that's a problem for some people, that's too hard. I also know that when you go to college, a lot of doors open for you, opportunities that you wouldn't normally have as a straight up just high school graduate. New doors open up to harder career fields, and those of course pay more money and are more interesting. I've invested a lot into myself for my whole life, and
In what terms?
as in being good at academics and trying to set myself up in a way that I'll be successful.
For sure.
And also for my parents, because like I want to get to the point where or make enough money and be in a good enough career field that I enjoy as well, but also so that when my parents retire, they never have to worry about money ever again.
I'm in college so I could get a six-figure job. That's corny to say that you want to get rich, because that shouldn't be one of your goals. Money should never drive you. But I want to live like in a mansion, like in a nice ass place.
Well, as an Asian American who grew up in an Asian household, school has always been a thing that's like emphasized basically from like when you're out the womb, because at the end of the day, like my parents came here to the USA back in the 80s without knowing anything, barely knowing English, with $20 to their name, and they made a life for themselves out here because they were trying to make it work, trying to start a family and allow me to have a better life, which honestly I'm living a good life. I have no complaints. I'm comfortable. I have a roof over my head. I got everything I need. And shout out to my parents for guiding me that way.
For me, college is a means to an end. It is the route that I've decided to take in order to fulfill a dream that I've had since I was young. For me, college is necessary, because of that. In order to be who I want to be, I have to go through college.
And what is that? Like, what's your dream?
I want to help people, and preferably in a healthcare setting. I want to make sure that everybody has access to healthcare. I want to fight for healthcare. I want people to know the importance of it. And so in order to do that, I got to have a degree. And so college is it.
Like, absolutely. If you're going into STEM, like, go to fucking college. I'm not trying to get operated on by a doctor who fucking taught himself from a book.
Yeah, taught himself from Reddit.
Fucking Reddit, bro.
You're not in college, right?
Nope. Not at the moment, no.
Do you plan on going to college?
Maybe, eventually, if I have to. If I really, really have to, I will. But
like,
not really.
if you didn't have to, like, would you want to?
No, definitely not.
Why?
Because I never liked school. From the beginning, I never liked school. Ever since I was younger. I always found it difficult.
Like, difficult to focus, or like?
Difficult to focus. Difficult to just be there and wake up in the morning or go and just hang out there. I can't.
You would have to wake up at like fucking 6 a.m.?
Yeah, no.
What the fuck?
Like,
you ever think about that shit?
That's
like,
too early for me.
No, and like for me, like in high school I had 0 period. And I would have to wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, no. Not I.
Like,
I would never.
Like, I could do it, but holy fuck, I was so tired. Like, every day.
Yeah, no. I would not go to school. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Never showed up for anything.
Yeah, I remember. English class.
English. Never showed up.
No, you didn't. I was... Did I sit behind you?
I sat behind you.
Oh, you sat behind me?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Mm.
I would constantly bug you.
Yeah, I know you would.
We're out here in downtown. This is probably like third week in a row I came on a date with Ronaldo.
Yeah, we're practically dating now. I'm not gay, but he is.
I think college is a scam, like, flat out. For the majority of people, I don't think you should go to college. Like, if I'm gonna be completely honest. And this goes beyond, like, the kids who aren't academically gifted, or like they're not cut out for college. This goes for like the majority of people. Yeah. Because like I really think it really boxes us. It kind of like funnels us into like kind of like a factory worker. Yeah. Where you pop out, you're a manufactured kind of student. You're a manufactured shell of a person, in my opinion. There's this one quote by Einstein, which goes, "If you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will forever think it's stupid." When you have a system that's a one-size-fits-all, it's not gonna fit anybody. And I feel like a lot of people get left behind in that sense, where like they're judged on how smart they are based on how well they perform in school, when that's just one area of intelligence, which is academics.
Right.
And there's several other areas where you can be incredibly intelligent in that that isn't explored because school stifles creativity. You know, it's designed to make you into a worker, right? I think everyone knows that by now.
That's actually very funny that you bring that up, because that's actually what I am trying to avoid. I work in Montessori education.
What's that?
It's not regular education at all. It's where you follow the child. You don't follow your own rules. You follow what the child has.
Is it like one-on-one or?
Mainly.
Really?
It's one-on-one. So
Okay.
you're like in a whole classroom filled with children, and you literally just take it step by step for every child, what they show you and what they need. And they will show you what they need, and you just watch what they do. And when they get to that point, that's when you teach them that specific like project or thing that they need to do. And so you just pretty much the whole thing about Montessori education is following the child and following what they need, not what everybody is set to do.
Damn, that sounds cool as fuck. Why didn't we have that?
That's what I said. I thought, like, when I first learned about it, I was like, wow, like, I feel like I would have thrived in this type of environment, not like how I did in our actual education system.
We were supposed to go mini golfing, but this man took a really long time to pick me up. I told him to come at 4:30. What time is it right now? 7:58?
Bro.
Motherfucker pulled up to my house at 7. So that's why we didn't end up mini golfing today.
You know what it is? I think everybody should spend time like trying to realize what they really want to do. But you know what it is? It's the education system, bro. It's high school, middle school. Like they're basically making all your time. Like they're taking all your time away from you, like wasted, just learning shit that you don't even need to know. And because of that, nobody like at a young age really has time to like develop their passions, realize what they want to do, because they're just being like distracted, you know. I think school is just a distraction. I've always realized it was a distraction, bro, because you know how in middle school, like you have your regular classes, you have science, math, English, and then they'll force you to do some shit that you don't care about. Like you like music, but I was in a music class that I did not need to be in. That I was like, bro, what the fuck is this nigga? I do not need to be this shit. Just shit like that made me realize that this shit is just a waste of time, because they shouldn't be forcing you to waste your time there if you have no interest in it. Like it's not doing anything for you. I probably spent an hour and a half 3 days a week. What is that? How much does that add up to? Nigga, it's like countless hours, nigga, over 100 hours of doing nothing like over the course of a year. Like, it's so pointless. Just shit like that. Like niggas could really be spending that time that they're in fucking grade school just learning what they want to do in life. Just that wasted time that you spend in school should be like strictly used for figuring out what you want to do, developing your passions. You know, you want to do this, then you could do this during high school, middle school, elementary school, just shit like that, bro. That's the reason why I never really thought about what I wanted to do, bro. It's just because I was so distracted with school and shit. I was just focused on my grades and everything. Never really got to think about what I wanted to do.
No, I feel the same way, dude. Like, there's a sense of individualism that's lacking within like the school system. I would say I'm a pretty creative like person, right? Like I have a lot of interests. I'd say I'm a pretty curious person too. Like I love learning about shit. But like during high school, specifically like the last 2 years, like I really felt like my creativity, or no, during middle school and high school, just like the entire time, like I really felt like my creativity was like being sucked. And then COVID happened, and some like relationship stuff happens, and I quit my job. I was like, nah, fuck that shit. Like I really hit rock bottom. And that forcibly allowed me some time to reflect. That really made me ask like all these questions about myself and like really reflect on like what is it that I really want. And on the other side, like I feel like I became myself again. And then I figured out what that is for me. Yeah. And then I realized, oh, I don't need college for that shit. So I'm like, bye. Like we're 17, 18-year-olds going from K through 12, right? And then going and pushed into like the next system. Yeah. Without really taking the time to pause and reflect. And because of that, like we're unsure of like what we want because we're unsure of like who we are as people. Yeah.
As soon as you finish high school,
they're like, what college are you going to?
What college are you going to go to? Where are you going to go? And if you take a break, people are like, what the fuck are you doing? You're wasting your time.
Yeah, you're taking a gap year.
If you take a gap year, you're wasting your time. And
you're scrutinized and like you kind of have like a label. College isn't for everyone. When people say that shit to me, like it pisses me off because like it implies that I'm stupid.
Yeah, no, literally, yeah.
And
that's
I'm
super
like,
pretentious and like passive aggressive.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like relax, like I'm not stupid. Like I mean, I don't need to defend myself because like I already know what I'm doing, but like it just gets under my skin. Like, okay, what are you doing? You know? Like,
oh God, what are you doing?
Yeah, then people think you're just either being lazy or you're dumb or something. But I think a gap year could be beneficial for a lot of people.
I'd say for most
people.
Yeah, and that's crazy that you dropped out though. I would have never expected you to do that because you know you was in all the advanced classes with me in high school and shit. You were just working hard for those 4 years. So it's crazy how you did the 180.
And they were like, okay, she's waiting for you upstairs. And I was like, wait, that girl's kind of cool. She's kind of bad. Okay, well, cut that out.
I think that college specifically, it's actually an interesting like stepping stone into real life because I think it's like a good in between high school and adult life because it's bad at teaching you and you have to do everything yourself because in high school, or I guess more appropriately, let's say elementary school, they're going to hold your hand.
Yeah.
In high school, you're still given every step of the way. And then in college, that starts to like dissolve and you have to take more of that work onto yourself.
Yeah.
But like adult life is like, No one's going to help you.
So, but the professors that say, I'm just here to teach you how to read the textbook, that's not going to help you, because reading that much text, a lot of stuff is going to pass over your head.
Yeah.
And you're not going to really be learning. At that point, you're just going to be memorizing things out of the book, just so that you can pass the test, just so you can pass the class. And that was my experience with physics. It's just memorizing things so I could pass the test and pass the class and just get out.
I focused so much on my grades, and everything I did was because of my grades, even though I wasn't even learning anything, you know? And I think that's a point that we have to cover sometimes is, are you actually learning, or are you just striving for that A? Like, is anything actually going in there? No, we're just memorizing things for the next test, and then the next test comes along and everything's out of your brain. I let the standards that these schools put in define me.
Like, you have to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
Or if you want help, you have to seek out for help.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be given to you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like,
No, I absolutely agree. And like, if that's how it worked, like that's how it was intentionally designed, then like I would get behind that. But the issue with that is that like you're still paying tens of thousands of dollars for supposedly the quality of the education, but the quality itself is at times less than a high school class.
yeah.
And at that point, I'm like, okay, bro, like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why? Like, I understand the philosophy behind like what you brought up, and I 100% agree, but I don't think that that's the intentional philosophy behind the college system.
I'm not paying that much.
Oh yeah, you, but like, I'm talking about
agree.
like people in general.
I don't think anyone should. Like, if I didn't get any scholarships, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the scholarships to pay for it, then you might as well do it. But if you're going out of your way to set yourself back, I just don't see what the purpose of doing that is. You could easily work your way to get that job without going to college. You know, you could spend those 4 years actually working the job, making the money, instead of just wasting those 4 years going backwards, spending money to go to the school. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I say that you should just do your research before going to college. Make sure that that money that you're investing into college is actually worth it. Like, you're actually getting your return back.
Like return on the investment.
Exactly. You should always do your research before you invest your money into anything. School's no different.
Because, you know, on paper it just looks like, oh, you know, you get your job, you get your internships, you get your money, and then you're out of there. But I feel like there's a lot more than that, because in my past 2 years of being in college and stuff, I feel like it's where I've learned like the most about myself compared to like high school. And I feel like as a person, I have like changed a lot since high school. And I don't know if my friends can attest to that, because I do generally feel like I'm for the most part a different person from how I was in high school.
Here, let me ask you this. So like, do you think that's because of college or like because you're growing?
I think it's a mix of both, because college, I feel like it opens more doors for opportunities, because I've been honestly, like, through college, I feel like I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities just through meeting new people and just learning about new people's experiences.
Do you feel like it is necessary to go the college route to like expand and grow?
I feel like it's made it easier for me to meet more people and take advantage of opportunities that come to the table. And with that too, I feel like it's made me develop into like a more adult person, I guess that's the best way to put it.
No. I think life experience can teach you a lot.
Did your parents kind of like influence your decision to go to college?
No, I don't think I was pressured. My parents, unlike other Indian parents, they said, you know, do whatever makes you happy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is rare.
That's
I
surprising.
know. And so for me, I was like, okay, I'll do whatever makes me happy. I thought nursing was going to be it. Along the lines, I realized, no, it wasn't. But they gave me the freedom to change. And even though it took my dad a long time to finally realize what I'm actually doing, they accept it and they accept me. And so choosing college was something that I think, I mean, I was surrounded by people who, everyone was going to college. Like, I guess it was just the thing, you know, going to high school. Senior year, you're like, okay, we're gonna go to college, everyone bye, you know. You grow up watching movies where people are going to college. College friends are gonna be the friends you're gonna have for your whole life, and just things like that. So you're surrounded by college. So it wasn't a hard decision for me to make, is okay, out of senior year, I'm gonna go to college.
I wouldn't say they influenced it. Like, obviously they want me to do that, you know, but I wouldn't say they influenced it. I would have went to college no matter who my parents were. Just personally knowing myself, I feel like I would. I understand what you mean though. A lot of people's parents, like, they pressure them to go to college, especially second generation, like
immigrants, POCs, pops.
Because you know their parents moved all the way here so you could get that education. So there's definitely a lot of them who probably feel that pressure. I mean, I'm sure you felt that pressure too before you dropped out. Like, how'd your parents react when you dropped
out? I actually got lucky, bro. Like my parents are very kind of like supportive. And they always like encouraged me with music. Like even then, like it was pretty much my decision to begin with, because like I was the one who was paying. Like I didn't, like I didn't allow them to like pay for anything, like books, tuition, none of that. Because like I wanted to make sure that if I was going, it would be my decision, and like if I were to ever drop out, which I mean I did, like it would be my decision too.
Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. This man's putting in the work.
Yeah, I'm putting in the grind.
I came here when I was a year old, and my family migrated. My dad, he immigrated over here with $500 Fijian in his pocket, which is like $250. Like the things that they went through to raise me. Here, I feel the pressure of that because I don't want to be a failure. I don't want to have all of their work and all of their sacrifices go to waste. Because for me is, okay, they came here, maybe not for me, but because they brought me here, because they raised me, because they went through such hardship and turmoil, and I was able to go to school here and do this and that. I'm sure they have expectations of me, and I want to meet those expectations, but I also don't want to fail. And for me, failure would be, and it's not something they've created, but it's something I've created, is not graduating from college.
Yeah, and I agree with them though. I don't necessarily agree that they need to go to college, but they definitely need to make something of themselves. You know, if they did that whole sacrifice, you know, they left wherever they're from, left all their friends, their family, like, it's basically your obligation to do something with your life. You don't have to go to college, but like, you should be successful, you know, in whatever you do.
What I also notice is also if you do put that pressure on a person, sometimes they just completely go the other way. They run away from it, or they just completely rebel from it. And like, that's out of my experience. Like my brother, like my older brother, that's exactly what he did. And that's where my parents realized that they messed up. Thankfully, I'm the middle child, so I got a different thing. But my older brother, he struggled with that because my parents did put a lot of pressure on him at first, and that's not what he wanted to do. And so he completely went against them, and they struggled for so long, like trying to be able to control his life, when in reality they can't. And that when they realized that, that's when they like backed off, and that's when he actually got a hold of his own life and took control. And that's what I'm actually very thankful for. With my family, they never pressured that on me. They never pressured me to do anything that they wanted me to do. They always told me, whatever you want to do is your choice. We're not in charge of your life. You are. And whatever you want to do, like, that's your choice. And when I was in middle school, I really liked singing, and so that's what they always thought I was gonna like go towards, like trying to go towards singing or something. But eventually, like, I just kind of stopped, and that's when they realized like that wasn't it. And so yeah, they just always encouraged me with everything, and I was very thankful for that.
And then the other one like stayed back, and then she followed me. Like, she was walking behind me, and then she comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, like, you better not do anything, or I'll cut your dick off. Like, if you try to do something, I'm gonna cut your dick off."
Bro, I swear girls are always like that, bro. They say like, "Oh, you better not fuck with my best friend or I'll ruin your life," and like they like never do shit.
Yeah, this girl's like 5 foot, so I was like, what?
Oh my, what is she gonna do? Fucking, she don't even reach your chin, bro.
Would you suggest that in the future, if we were to change anything, like the school system or anything, when you say that, like, it makes me think like, okay, there should be a mandatory like year or like 6 months or something that kids or seniors should take before taking that decision to go into college. Would you be for that?
I actually think it starts before that. If we start from a younger age, not just senior year, but like from kind of the beginning, if we were allowed to explore and like really be curious and allow our curiosity to flourish and like take ourselves into different directions, I feel like it would be incredibly beneficial. Because that's a period that I often, or not often, but like when I think about topics like these, I look back to and I'm like, damn, like my creativity during that time was like at all-time high. Kids really fucking matter, especially like the younger ones in terms of like what education they get. So like that actually makes me really happy that like there's programs like that where it's like one-on-one, because I think
the best teaching or the most ideal teaching scenario is a private teaching, like one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's where you can learn the most. They can pay attention to how you're doing. They can see where you need to get improvement.
But like it's hard to do that on a massive scale.
Yeah, definitely. It really is, especially with how our public school system is. It's literally like 30, 40 kids packed into a classroom with one teacher, and that one teacher can't do everything.
Yeah.
And so that is very difficult, and it's horrible.
Yeah, like after that experience, the outdoor school experience, like I gained a lot more respect for like the teachers, because like they're underpaid as fuck, and like they're doing so much work, and like they're not getting shit in return.
At first, I told the guys, and they're like, "Oh damn, dude, we're kind of bad." 3 of them.
Let me put on my glasses, bro.
The girls be getting bored. They want someone to talk to.
Yeah, people be bored, bro. Everybody wants attention.
Yeah, that is true.
That's why I'm doing this.
Like we had that unit on college. Like, is it worth it or not? Should we go?
Yeah, that was like junior year, right?
Yeah, I remember I wrote in mine that college was not worth it.
Yeah.
And like that planted the seed, like in my head. Cause like before then, like I was like, all right, college is the way to go. And then that seed was planted, and like I started getting closer and closer to the fence, right? Of like whether or not I should stay or should like not go. And then ever since then, like that seed kind of grew and manifested to like, yeah, bro, like college ain't it. I started questioning. I'm like, is this actually what I want? And I came to the conclusion that like, no, it's not what I want at all. And I was against going to college for a long time. Like I was on the fence, but I decided to go because like I wanted to play it safe. Because like college is considered the safe route. I
think that's something everyone should do, either before you get into college or maybe during your college experience. You got to think, is me being in college actually going to benefit me, or am I just doing it just to do it, just to have a safe route? Because like a lot of people, like they don't really have that shit like an end goal. Like especially people our age. I know, niggas are just living their lives day by day type shit. Yeah.
But I've learned this idea that like if you don't decide what you want, the world will tell you what you want and you will believe it.
You really got to know what you're doing, I feel like. Because like if you're just like, I want to be this, but like you don't actually like do anything to get there, or like you just talk, you know, without like actually walking the walk, then like you're not gonna amount to it. Which is why, like another reason why I kind of dropped out, because like I always wanted something more. And like I know it's kind of very self-centered, but like the reason why I want something more is because like I recognize that there's a lot of opportunity around me that like isn't available for other people, right? And I kind of want to be in a position where I can give them those options.
Hey, Miss Donda, you running to my mama, please tell her I said say something. I'm starting to believe ain't no such thing as heaven's trumpets. No after over, this is it done. If there's a heaven, you would think they let you speak to your son. Maybe she has in the form of a baby's laugh. I heard passing by.
Yeah, you only do one snap, you hard.